All right, Coach, we know that you are headed to Atlanta later this week to go run with your family, your brother, your sister. For those that don't listen to our podcast, I know that there is a deep story there, a really heartfelt story. So talk to us about your family, that run, what you're looking forward to this weekend.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And you're right. It's hard to believe that the weekend is upon us. It's coming up. Credit to Brina, Bashana, and Bernardo, my three younger siblings. I have two other siblings as well that will not be joining, but these three in particular, it's going to be great. My sisters have never run a half marathon. In fact, it's their first official timed event. And they said yes in December of 2020, so a very short training cycle. But I'm so proud of the work that they've put in, and my brother as well. And the story that you were referring to, one, the sense of family, siblings, travel event, but the dynamics between my brother Bernardo and sister Bashana. In 2007, that sister gave Bernardo a gift of life again. Specifically, she donated a kidney to him, and we have all clearly benefited by that incredible gesture, and it's just made our family even closer. And for the four of us to travel, knowing how proud our mother is going to be, our father's going to be, our children will be, and the example we're setting for our family just in general is profound, and we don't take that lightly. We're going to have a lot of fun. The training has been fun as well, and it's been a little bit of a sibling competition. They are all participating in the 2021 Taji100. My brother should be finishing today, and my sister Bashana shortly thereafter, and my sister Brina will probably come close. But again, this Sunday, the 28th of February, at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 2021 half marathon. I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it. And more to come. Photos, some video. I'm sure some tears of joy. And some sore feet for some people as well.
Yeah, I was just about to tell our audience that you've got to make sure that you tune in next week, as we'll have photos, videos. We'll live vicariously through you, being able to race live. And I told you in solidarity that I will also run a half marathon this Sunday. It's been months and months and months since I've ran one, but I would love to run one kind of virtually with you as well. And I encourage any of our audience to go run a long distance this weekend. If that means half marathon for you, then fantastic. Push yourself to that half marathon. If that's, a couple of miles, if that's a full marathon, whatever it is for you guys, come run, come post your pictures up on our site. We'll kind of have a virtual Medal Monday next week, and really, show your support for Coach B going out there and his entire family. You said your Pops was coming out too to Atlanta?
He was. He was. And, again, we are still navigating a pandemic, and I think the siblings have all agreed we would prefer that our parents have had their vaccines. Our mother had her first shot on Saturday, and we just don't want her to make the trip right now and we will run again. There will be another race day, and it's the same thing with our father. We would prefer that he's through his vaccination process before he's on a plane and traveling. So at this stage, I don't believe my father's coming, but funnier things have happened. And I know we have several members of the Too Legit Fitness tribe that will be running the Mutt half marathon on Sunday as well. So
yes.
Congratulations in advance to Becky and Randy and Jackie and Sylvia and Maria, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I also wanted to say I'm dedicating this particular race to a friend of the RaceMob and Too Legit family. He was on one of our very first podcasts. He's been a mentor to me as a coach, and is really having a tough time navigating post-COVID long hauler syndrome right now. And Matt Fitzgerald. So, Coach, this race is for you. We had a good time in Atlanta last year, and every step I'll be running in to raise awareness for the symptoms that you're navigating post-COVID. So this one's for you, Coach Matt.
Wow, great for you to dedicate this run to him. And Matt, we wish you all of the best. Absolutely, Coach. Can you give us a couple of pointers that you're giving to your siblings, those that are navigating their first half marathon?
Yes, it's the week leading up to the race, so it's taper time.
Yeah.
The hay is in the barn, so to speak. The work has been done, and each of them has gotten up and over the 10-mile mark, so they know that is within them. A couple of them have been over that mark more than once during this training cycle.
Wow.
Making sure you're getting enough sleep, staying on top of your hydration. It's important to keep the legs loose. So maybe if that's a 5K, 5 mile easy effort, but then looking at race day on Sunday and backtracking 72 hours, you just want to chill. You want to make sure that, again, you're on top of your hydration, know what your gear is going to be like, shoes to, top, food, all that stuff. Know what your all the race related accessories are going to be, and just have trust in your training. And don't start off too fast. If there's anything I've preached to all of our athletes and to my siblings, because you're going to line up there on race day and think, oh yeah, I'm ready. It's time to get out the blocks hot. And if you get out the blocks hot early, you are going to be paying the price later. So be conservative on the front end, even if that's a walk, jog, and then gradually build up that rhythm, build up the pace, because you'll see people who will do that the out quick, and then you'll see them in the pain cave early. And you don't want to do that. I don't want their experience to be indirect sabotage because it's just not following a plan. Knowing in advance to start off a little conservative will help you in the long haul.
Great advice. And it just got me thinking about all of these podcast guests that we've had on talk about their first marathon experience. And I'm going to have a compilation because they all sound the same. I mean, we just had Matt Forsman on. We just had Kofuzi on. We talked to Jason Fitzgerald, and that's a podcast coming out in a couple of weeks. Every time we ask somebody about their first marathon, it's always, I went out too fast. The wheels fell off at the end, and so we talk about this with our athletes all the time about negative split, about making sure that you're not going out too fast. You can't win the race in the first few miles, but you can certainly lose your race in the first few miles. So great advice, fantastic advice, and I think perfect segue to Kofuzi, who we did just recently have on the podcast. I'll link to a portion of that episode up here, but the other portion that I loved, if you haven't listened to the full podcast episode, was about his first marathon, about him and his dad. His dad, 30 years his senior, 60 years older than him, and them running in the first marathon, I think in Baltimore, if memory serves me correctly. Mm-hmm. And Pops just left him in the dust.
And where Mike said he eventually caught up with him and then couldn't hold it. And Pops is like, peace out.
Peace out. Yeah.
All right,
this vision of hand in hand, crossing the finish line together. And nope. So hopefully you won't do that to your siblings this weekend.
No. I mean, that for a while I was going to be running the full marathon, and then it became clear, like, dude, come on now. I mean, they're putting in the work. Yeah, you're the coach, but you must finish with family. You must be there step for step. And it is the ability to get out and for a live race is tough enough already, but to have the opportunity to do that with your family. And I reached out to a couple of people and said, hey, if you were me, what would you do? And I'm like, come on now, coach. What would you tell us? I'm like, all right, I'll run a marathon in the future, but I could not pass up this opportunity to toe the line with my siblings, and then just the camaraderie and the adversity that one or all of us are going to face at some point during that race. And as we always allude to, a race is much like life. You just can't stop mid-race. You have to put one foot in front of the other, and you'll get to where you need to be. Sometimes that's an aid station to kind of give you a little bit of refresh and get recentered and refocused. It happens in life. But inevitably, pressing forward and then realizing all the hard work that they've put themselves through, and being able to embrace and appreciate, hey, you know what, at in our 40s and 50s we can still feel like we're kids at heart. So that's the beauty about physical fitness. It's never too late.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, races are just way more fun with people, especially in a crowd of people or a sea of people, having those friendly faces, especially when you put in all that work, all that time, all that energy, all that effort into your first half marathon, having a friendly face encourage you, keep you motivated, keep you going and chugging in those difficult moments. I mean, I'm sure that they will appreciate it tremendously, and we're all looking forward to it, man.
This has been, I mean, the work Coach Big Bro put into their training plan has been like a drop in the bucket, because that was the easiest part of this. Because once one sibling got in their first 6 miles, the other was, oh wait, oh no, I'm gonna do 7 miles, and then just like 8 miles, and then double-digit miles. Like, oh, time out, everybody, you guys are moving a little too fast. You're ahead of the training program. But that level of, again, accountability, motivation, a little bit of friendly sibling trash talking, all helped get them through their training, which is fantastic, and it made it really easy on me. So, but also one thing that we did is every Sunday, 5 o'clock or 5:30, we had a family Zoom, and we talked about the training. We opened up the calendars, talked about what was working, gave them the opportunity for some good Q&A. Big Bro, what about hydration? What to wear, cotton socks, not cotton socks, different types of gels, looking at race day, what does taper mean, intervals, negative splits. So getting them more familiar with things that will work with them, and the importance of warming up before the workout and cooling down post, including foam rolling, stretching. Very, very, very important for all runners. So
fantastic. Yeah. And I know in March that we're going to start back up our happy hours. We're going to start back up some of these coaching sessions so that you can directly ask Coach B your questions about running, because we're all there to support each other and support the entire community. So, I mean, this is fantastic. We're even looking at different platforms potentially to be on. So comment down below if you're on Clubhouse. That's what I want to know, because I recently jumped on Clubhouse. I have been really interested in this audio only format. I know it's invite only at this point in time, but if you're on Clubhouse, you want to hear a couple more sessions from Coach B and myself, we're thinking about starting a room, an ongoing room, just to help answer questions, help keep people motivated throughout their training cycles. So let us know down in the comments down below if you're on Clubhouse. So Coach, while you're in Atlanta, I know that we also have a couple of other friends in Atlanta. Are you able to connect with Coach Tes and the Run Duo podcast while you're out there?
Yeah, that's certainly on the agenda. I know that Coach Tes, who's expecting her first child, I believe, between now and March, is going to be doing some volunteer work for the Atlanta Track Club that's actually, hosting the annual Atlanta 2021 half marathon, 5K, half marathon, and marathon. And Tommy and India are going to be on site as well. So I know we have some things in the works post-event between all three entities to share some of the takeaways, but definitely looking forward to connecting with them while on site race day weekend.
Yeah, that'd be so cool, since they're just such fantastic people. Their podcast is amazing. India is just such a wealth of knowledge. She has a fantastic YouTube channel that we will link to here. She puts out just amazing content. And I know that she was just recently interviewed on the Alley on the Run podcast, so one of the most popular running podcasts in our space. And she just has such an incredible both story and enthusiasm about her. So it'll be great to connect with them and see what types of partnerships we can have kind of going forward. So fantastic. Cool. Well, other news that we wanted to get to. So we recently had the Cut the Crap Challenge, which people know. What we didn't get to last week was we had the drawings for the winners. So we had the drawings on Tuesday, and it was also just a fantastic moment for people to share their experience throughout the whole journey. And we had just such incredible stories of people, finally losing the weight that they couldn't seem to lose over the many, many years. People, really seeing big differences in their energy levels, people seeing big differences in, the variety of foods that were on their plate. We had one person who was a cancer survivor talk about dropping her A1C levels from really pre-diabetic levels to a normal level over 7 days. And it was just incredible, kind of tear-jerking moments throughout. So really have to say thank you to Tony Julian for putting on this challenge, for really challenging all of us to cut the crap. I know that there were several members who kind of got started late, and they just continued the challenge for 14 days on their own. Fantastic recipes, fantastic photos. If you haven't had a chance, go check out Tony Julian's group hug. You can see the whole video where we had the drawing, where we had people share their stories, as well as all the fantastic recipes over the weeks. And I think that this is going to be something that we're going to do again in a couple of months because we just had such a fantastic both turnout and just success stories throughout that whole adventure. So congratulations to the Cut the Crap Challenge. And the winners were Joyce and
Crystal.
Joyce and Crystal were the winners of the Cut the Crap Challenge drawing. So they have won a prize pack from Tony Julian, as well as coaching from our very own Coach B. So we hope to be able to share some of their stories with the rest of your audience over the next couple of weeks. Just fantastic people, really at the start of their fitness journey. And so, I think Crystal is in the East Coast where it's really cold.
Connecticut. Yeah, a lot of snow right now.
A lot of snow. So we hope to share their journeys with you guys all as well. Cool. And we've got one more week of Taji. Sunday is the last day to get your miles in. It's been such a fantastic challenge for all of us. And I think, with Taji, we are finding people love this accountability piece, this gamification piece. It's really helping people make sure that they're accountable to their own fitness and their own schedule. And so this is something that we are taking a look at behind the scenes. How can we provide people with more motivation, more accountability? Because that, I think, is the number one thing that you guys have requested from us, is how do we help you with the accountability piece, with the motivation piece? So if you have any ideas, do let us know down below. We've got a couple of things brewing on the back end in our minds, but we'd love to get your input, what you think would work for you on that side of it. And with that, we've got new members up on the screen. We have 40 new members again this week. So still growing our user base, our email list, looking at new ways, again, to help encourage the new members to contribute to the community, to get them motivated, to learn more about their stories, because we're hearing more and more fantastic stories from all of you, our audience. And one of our biggest goals for the next quarter is to help connect people with other members. I think there's one thing if we're just putting out content, but the real magic happens when we can help like-minded individuals meet each other and set themselves up in a team or, in an encouraging environment. So looking at new ways to do that over the next couple of weeks to months. And with that, we also have birthdays up on the screen. Any birthdays you want to give a shout out to, Coach?
Yes, happy birthday to everyone who has birthdays on the horizon, but one team member in particular, Lachey Banks. Lachey went to school with my sister, so a family friend, and went to her wedding many years ago. But Lachey shared with the Too Legit family several years ago that she's been battling Parkinson's disease. In fact, when I completed the New York 2020 virtual marathon that you helped pace me in October of last year, it was her who put that event in front of me. Originally, I was going to run the New York Marathon, raising money and awareness for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, but that event switched to virtual. I'm hoping to do that this year. But she, is still navigating those symptoms and may not be able to run as much as she would like to, and it impacted her Taji100 this year. So Lachey, happy birthday, love and respect to you, and thank you for really sharing your story with us. And it's whatever we can do to help raise awareness for Parkinson's disease. We'll certainly all want to do our part.
Thank you so much, Coach, for joining me again. We look forward to hearing about your Atlanta half marathon, you meeting up with your family, getting the videos, getting the photos from that. So we're looking forward to really chatting with you again next week and learning more about that. Again, folks, comment down below if you're on Clubhouse or if you're on some other social media platform that you think that we should be on. We're really interested in figuring out how we can get more content out to you guys and meet you on the platforms that you are a part of. With that, just want to say thank you all. Hit the thumbs up button down below. It really helps us so much, and we will catch you again next week.